Welcome. Good morning. And we are here in the trade room today. Welcome to another edition of Faith and Finance. I do need to make us and highlight the risk here. Futures, foreign currency, and options trading does involve substantial risk and is not appropriate for everyone. I'm excited to actually come into the trade room today. Um, and again, this is not investment or trading advice, but for information and educational purposes only. I will be looking at the markets today, so we're going to come in and take a look. And it is quite early before the open, so I do want to do some analysis. This is very important. As a trader, you do want to have a pre-market routine. I am looking at a daily chart because I'm trying to get a sense of what the day is going to be. We will pause because it is quite early, but I want you to realize the preparation that is involved in planning a trade. And what I'm looking at is yesterday we were this candle here, this green candle represents yesterday's trading activity, and we are in the pre-market here on this red candle, and um, I'm looking pre-market, and this is a daily chart. Now, what I'm going to do is restore my view, and my bias for today is to continue to see us rally. This is a smaller time frame, and this is what they call the volume weighted average. Typically, price, it's almost like a magnet, and it's an institutional benchmark. Uh, I do want to take a look at something else here on the higher time frame, so I'm going to bring this back out and maximize it. And I want to go to some of the tools that we can use. I'm going to look at a volume profile. And in the search for my study, kind of put in those vertical lines. So we're going to come into the time axis. We're not going to show the rollover. We're not going to show the expiration. We're not going to show the your marking lines. So hit apply, see how that cleans that up so you can get a nice view. Okay, now we're on a daily chart. I did show you the range that we're dealing with, and my bias is that we have supply and demand patterns, and we're not really teaching here, but this is what we would call on a higher time frame. So this is where institutions play, and this is the reason why I wanted to put a volume profile. So I'll go to a study. I'm going to add a quick study. I'm going to go to profiles, quick study. Come on down to profiles. We're going to add the volume profile. So that lets us see the volume at these where these candles are at. Okay, so this you see this large amount of volume that extends to the right. That's the highest amount of volume. Oops, let me see if I can get this back over here. We're going to kind of zoom out to get a better view. So this is what they call the point of control, that red line, because that's the point where most of the volume took place. So most of the volume is in this upper region of we have the value area low and the value area high. So and the value area is where most of the trading activity took place. So looking at this pattern that we see and looking at uh, where price is projected to um, move based on volume. And then we also usually like to take a look at what's going to be expected throughout the trading day. So, and we go to the calendar. Today's date is March the 20th. We're going to take a look at, and there's a lot of, you see the color coding, red means it's very serious. So my time, I'm in the central time zone. This is set for the time zone that I'm trading in. And again, this is your Guardian Voice, live trading today. So we know at 7:30 in the United States, we're going to have unemployment claims. So the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week, actual less than forecast, is good for the currency. So if less people file for unemployment, more people are working, they have more money to spend. That is good for the economy, and that tends to suggest that um, the uh, market can move in a positive direction or move up. Um, Now, the interesting thing about this week, if you are cognizant of the current events under the current administration, there was a lot of layoffs, a lot of jobs have been cut. So this number can have a significant impact. So that's telling me that my bias for this information is that um, it will probably be a higher number than anticipated because I just have been watching the news. So you want to stay abreast of the news, and this is why it's good to come here. And we're going, look, 6:50. So we still have 30, 40, 50 minutes before this event. So with that, we're going to pause for the live trading. We're going to come back to the charts. We're going to come down to the smaller time frame. With this, and if you have more experience, literally, I am going to enter a trade long. Why? I believe price will rally into this event and then maybe drop. That's a higher time frame. That's my bias because I believe that there's going to be a larger number for unemployment. And if I'm correct in my thesis, once that information comes available, the market will drop. Going into that, it usually goes the opposite direction. So we're going to enter a trade now and take advantage of what I have uh, come to on my conclusion. So if we come down to a 5-minute chart, and let's see here, we can enter our trade. So what we're going to do, we're just going to, and we would take a come here so we can open up the chart. And I'm willing to risk, I'm already in a trade, so I'm already up to $325 because I saw this earlier, but I want to trade for you. So we're going to flatten. So you can see here that we're already doing pretty well, but again, I'm going to flatten that trade. Are you sure this? Yes, I'm going to close the position, and we're just going to re-enter the position. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up an order. And we're going to do what they call, because we want to have an OCO order. So we want to have a stop, and we want the stop to be what's our stop? And this is by ticks. So if we want to risk $500, 10 tick stop would be each tick represents $12.50. So a 10 tick stop, $12.50 times the 10 ticks is $125. So we can do a let's see, a 30 tick stop times 12.50 per tick equals $375. So I think it's let's see here, 12.50 times 40 tick stop would be so 40 ticks. So if we are risking $500, our stop would be we could go up to 40 ticks. Okay. And then we're going to buy market 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So we're going to put a sell stop right there. Okay. So that's just to protect our and limit our loss. Okay. But again, with what I've told you in my experience, I'm confident. I may be wrong, but going into the, and it's 7 a.m. now, and usually before the information comes out, a lot of times price can tend to, and then we're going to come. Remember, I told you also when we opened, there was we're going to minimize the cell again, restore the cell, so you can see that 1 minute chart up here. Okay, that there's this what we call a volume weighted average. Okay, and price tends to gravitate towards that when it's up below it, down to it when it's above it. So let's see how this continues to play out as we approach the 7:30 news event. I'm going to pause the recording and we will be back and we will see where we are at as we go into the event. And I'm glad to be able to share with you live today. Again, this is not, this is for educational purposes only. Past performance can never be a guarantee of any future uh, trading event or performance. And if we are stopped out, we know that our stop is limited to $500 because we calculated that for you. And again, our thesis is that as price, we're going into a trading event. We had a major news event that we found here, and we knew at 7:30 the unemployment claims are coming out. My bias is that that's probably going to be a negative event because I saw during the news today is a Thursday morning. A lot of people were getting laid off, a lot of jobs being lost, and I'm assuming that based on my preparation for that, that the number of individuals who filed for unemployment during this past week is going to be greater, and so that's if it's less than forecast, that's good for the currency or the economy, so price would rally. But since I believe it's going to be a higher number, I believe that price may drop after this information is reported. I may be incorrect. You never know in trading, but this is just my thesis, and this is why we study the markets. This is why we uh, are here to help you with our experience, and let's just see what happens. So we're going to pause. I'll be back. Remember, we did, because of that, we took the trade. We're in the trade. Looks like from our entry, we are up $62. Um, and that's a good sign. Uh, Overall, I'm up $412.50 because before recording this morning, I saw this information. I thought it would be a good day to trade, so I entered the trade prior to the recording here at Faith and Finance. But again, this is your guardian voice um, here with a live trading room event. We are glad that you are here to help grow the channel. Our objective, again, is to help you um, in your knowledge of trading and navigating the financial markets, and also not forgetting that seeking ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all of these things are going to be added to those of us that truly believe. So we do have a protective stop. So if I'm totally wrong and it just tanks before the information, we will be protected. Um, and if I'm correct, then price will rally. Um, your target objective, you want to know where you want to get in and get out of a trade. So giving us our daily bread, I don't want to be too greedy. Greed can be another emotion that impacts us all. And I think $500, 500 to $1,000 is a great trade for a day. I mean, just think about what you do and how much you make each and every day. I mean, but a $500 day is not bad uh, by any means. And if there's 220, usually there's 220 trading days in a year. So if we did the math, if we make $500 today and we multiply that times 200 trading days in a year, if you're trying to do this, that's a $100,000 salary. Now, mind you, you may have to take out your tax obligation. Um, but still $100,000 a year is not bad. And that's with on average 200 to 220 trading days. And that's if you're making $500 in your trading. Okay. So we are here to help. Um, thank you again for joining. Again, my name is the Guardian Voice. I'm going to pause for the cause. We're taking a commercial and we will be back. We're going to return here in grab some coffee, maybe some breakfast. The announcement should be announced in uh, it's at 7:30, so we've got 25 more minutes. I'll look forward to seeing you. Now, if we're up $500 before the announcement, we're going to probably close the trade and we're going to watch together. Okay. And even if I come back early, I may come on early. If we are up $500, I'm going to come back on and we're just going to follow our trading plan because that's the plan that we set. Okay. But I'm going to pause and get some coffee and we'll be back. Thank you for your participation and glad that you're here with us today. Okay, so we're back here, and now what we see going into, we're almost at our entry point. The uh, we're below the averages have crossed over, so we really need to be going short. It looks like it's just going to flush and push down. So we're going to reverse here. And and the reason I made that decision is because of the averages. It's just going to continue to flush, in my opinion. So now we'll see. Um, we're 3 minutes before. Now you may see it push up and then come down. That can happen, but I think it's just going to because it's grinding down. We've crossed the averages. Let's see where we are on as the information comes out. Let's go to the report. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it does rally a little bit. But let's just watch the report too. Let's see where we're at. We're 2 minutes. So usually what happens, you see the countdown here on the report. Okay. So it says 1 minute, 34 seconds. I don't like to look at the charts because they can, it can be quite violent and extreme. The information, I like to see the data, but just so you can see the emotions as they play out, it's starting to, and again, you'll see that it typically goes the opposite direction and it may explode up and then before the information is announced. But the bias for me is to the downside because it just the averages are crossing below. But now we're 1 minute before the information. Um, we are short one contract. We're down $25, down $50. So again, we had a $500 stop loss. Let's go back to the information now because we know what to anticipate. All right, so 33 seconds, and then the number will come out. And this is where, you have to accept whether your thesis was correct or incorrect. If you're going to trade an event and you've done your due diligence, and this is some of the risk in trading, so that's the reason why you do want to put a stop loss limit so you know that you're not going to lose more than $500. And our goal again was to make $500. So three, two, one. Then it pauses. This is where it flickers. So, if it's going to go up or down, I'll come back, see how it went up and down real quick. You see how that had that candle come up, and that's usually what happens. Now let's come back to the data. Let's see what the data says. The data is still pending. So, pending, pending, pending. And remember, this is unemployment claims. So if it's more than 224,000 and it's 223,000, so it's close. Okay, so it's not. So then I will reverse. Yes. So it's not as bad. So now we are long because of um, the data wasn't that bad. And I, again, was looking at the the VWAP price tends to, it's a magnet, okay? This truly is a magnet. Um, and so now that the data wasn't extreme, my bias is still to the upside. We're starting to come back over the averages. I believe we'll be able to come up here. We're already at 137, and I think we'll be able to hit our $500 target today. But you see, I had to take my knowledge of and put all this together, and it can be very challenging real time if you don't have the experience. I've been trading for a long, long time. So, that's why we're here to help you because if you don't know what you're doing and you can't make quick decisions like that, it can be drastic, especially if it's a live account. But this is a simulated account. You see simulated trading. This is with Thinkorswim. We're already at $200, and my goal again is $500. I believe that we if we let this run, we could probably do more than that. For the I know that you guys are here with me this morning in the trading room. I know you may have uh, a lot of activities for your day. You may be working a job and taking care of a family or your responsibility. We thank God for you just taking the time to watch this information. Um, but you can see the trajectory. It looks like we're headed there. I can't tell you when we're going to achieve our goal, but again, I believe that we will hit that. Now, if I would have had two contracts, we would have already achieved the goal. But I'm just trading with one contract. Each tick is $12.50 per tick for one contract of the ES. In our previous episodes, we talked about margin requirements. It does the margin for these products. I mean, if we go here, this is the platform that we're on is Thinkorswim. So we can come down here to futures. And what I like about futures, it tells you right here you need $16,228.30 to trade one of these. So just to do what I just did in a real account, you have to have $16,228. So when we talked about the prop firms on the other episode. Please check that out. You can trade a micro when we say micro, there's an M in front of it, and the um, margin requirement is $1,622.50 per micro contract. The only thing, the tick value, you know how each tick here is $12.50, helping us get to our goal of $500. Well, it's only $1.25 when you trade the micro here. So it takes a lot more ticks and a lot more micro contracts. So that's the reason why trading with a prop firm can help you feel what real trading is all about because this is what, most people trade with. And let's see here. We did have a pullback to the average. Um, let's go back to, and I think, throughout the trading day, this is where I think price is going to gravitate towards. Um, when I started the trade room, so we can come back here and we can restore the sell time. You never know how long it's going to take to achieve your objective. But I looked at when we started really early in the analysis prior, um, we looked at this is a daily chart, so this is a higher time frame. So this is kind of showing us, between yesterday, that green candle, and today, yesterday's range was between this low and then this high, and then this is today's activity. So we need to, and this is a higher time frame, so that's the reason why we're this moving average is below this. This is a 12 period moving average and a 9 period moving average. When we see this 9 period on the daily chart cross over the 12, that, and if it can sooner than later. That's probably when we'll see if we come back out, we can see more movement and momentum in our objective, which was the $500. And we may vacillate throughout the trading session. And so what I'll do, I will pause and then once the objective is achieved, I will have some closing thoughts and information about today's trading session. Thank you again. Make sure you again hit that like or subscribe button if you found this value added. And again, thanks for joining the trade room. We don't trade every day, but when we do, there is a lot of information and take notes. And we definitely are here to help you uh, learn how to trade and more importantly, make that daily bread. The Lord's Prayer teaches us, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. We really want to build the kingdom of God on earth. That is our desire. And as traders, I want you to be successful, to prosper, but then to think of those charities, think of those ministries, think of people that you can, take care of your financial responsibility to your family. And oh Lord, we thank you for giving us this day our daily bread and forgiving us of our trespasses and leading us not into temptation and delivering us from all evil. For you are the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever, world without end. Okay, so we're going to pause. I'm going to come back, and once that profit target is achieved, okay, let's look. It looks like we have reached our profit target. Glad to return here. It's a little bit later in the morning. So let me go ahead. It did hit, but in my commentary, it is moved down a little bit here. So let me go ahead and 587, we're going to flatten the position, take profit, and we are out. So we hit our profit target. It's about 8:43, quite a bit of time from 7:30. So, there was a lot of movement, but again, thank you again for joining us today on this episode of Faith and Finance. Again, where we hope to help you become um, better at your trading skills. And we also are uh, believers here at Faith and Finance. So always remember, plan your trade, trade your plan, and always keep God in your strategy. And take care. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.